All right, here we go again. Buckle up, rough roads ahead. So, it's been a nightmare. Again, I'm not sure if it was the network I was on that was being hacked, or whether it was the phone I was on was being hacked. So again, when I speak to different people on while I'm on the phone, I'm believing that somebody's monitoring. So I'm sending information as to what we need to do to look at that. So I'm testing the audio here. I'm back on my other device. I got to get back with my service. They couldn't put my Samsung on the new service. So what it comes down to is this. I thought I was experiencing like coughing, like a coughing fit. Well, what I did is last night, well, the Lord did, so I could figure it out. Right. I waited to go to sleep till I took my coughing medicine. I thought it was over cough and then started. So I'm like, what is this? So I took a half a dose of my coughing medicine just to make sure I didn't want to overkill. I usually take a smaller dose if I can. And I started going, I'm like, what? How can the coughing medicine cause coughing? Like, it isn't making sense. So when I was finished coughing, when I thought coughing, I had this gas coming up from my stomach and like upset stomach and all that. So I'm saying, wait a minute, this has got to be like the dry heaves or something. And it's nothing I've experienced with COVID before. I don't think I had any stomach issues with COVID last time. And my brother never said much. He just said he didn't feel like eating. So I called my brother just to, I'm like, what is this? What's going on? And he's like, well, maybe you need to go over to the emergency room. I'm like, that seems like a bit much. Like, maybe I'll call a doctor. I said, thanks for taking my call. I'm going to call a doctor. So I called the telehealth people, which is, the Lord bless. I can't complain one bit. The woman that actually took the call, I mean, it took a little while to get her, maybe 45 minutes or something. But when she did come online, she was the one that had the information. So she told me this. She goes, I don't care if you eat. You appear to be eating. I said, yeah, but I think I'm not supposed to be eating. I think it's making me sick, and I just haven't figured it out. Because I'm getting sick from eating, and I'm thinking I'm coughing, like it's a coughing reaction. But she said, I don't care if you're eating. She goes, because she's told me about her, she had the information about my patients, sometimes, they can't eat anything, and it's for weeks on end, I says, but what I want you to do is take uh, Gatorade. And I said, I tried to get that in, but I couldn't get it delivered. I couldn't find it in a powdered form, yada, yada, yada. And she says, okay, but, try to do that. And then she gave me something for my stomach, right, which I didn't need yet. I think actually the Gatorade is helping my stomach a little bit, which I'm usually a big user of Gatorade, especially when I come down with something. I just haven't been able to get to it. So this shows you the metaphysics of things and how it affects the physical. I couldn't get to Gatorade to save my life when I was trying to order it about a week ago. She tells me to use Gatorade, and I find it immediately. So again, they're monitoring and doing the reverse. They're willing me down and blocking me from Gatorade. So it may have took a doctor to say you need Gatorade to undo their curse, or they're hacked. They may have been hacking. It did cost me a little bit of money back and forth with activation fees and other things um, to get all this done, and I still don't have my phone on the other. I don't have my phone number on my phone yet. It was just bizarre, and I'm used to it because of their curses. Yesterday, I still had my phone set up. I hadn't reset it, Right. So I reset it, and I was going to send it in. And as soon as I did that, nothing worked. Nothing. I couldn't even get my IO44 to work. And I understand that they have the Apple certified stuff and all that. I just didn't believe it was going to be this crazy. And then when I had an option of buying something Apple certified, and it wouldn't get here till like Saturday, and I just like, I'm at the drop dead, time, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend I like my phone for the next 2 years. I just can't do it. We're going to have to like separate. So again, I've loved my Samsung until they hacked me and I couldn't order my Paxlovid, which I don't know if that's. I never did try to do it with the Apple because it had already progressed like 3 or 4 days, and I'm like, yeah, that'd be wasting my time with that medication. The only hope is, I mean, the real hope is that it continues to move forward as far as dumbing down its symptoms. The doctors were uh, pretty convinced that COVID was more of a mild illness at this point, and they statements in my head going, "Oh, if you had got only if you had gotten the vaccine." But again, like the angel, the devil and the angel comes on and goes, "No, no, no, that's everybody. It's not as bad as it was in the beginning." Right? And again, this was not a textbook treatment of COVID. I was probably out there for quite a few days with COVID, out in the cold, de-icing my vehicle, that kind of thing, and that really makes it harder to beat. In fact, if I'd have figured it out soon enough, I probably wouldn't have had hardly any symptoms. Right. I was wearing myself down while I had COVID, and that's no matter what you have, flu, anything, it kind of makes it kind of messy. Right. Well, the initial parts of it were pretty quick. I mean, there wasn't too many symptoms, but then, well, I think what happened is I didn't figure out what the symptom was. I thought it was coughing, and it was my stomach. So again, taking Tylenol and right, and cough medicine can irritate the stomach also. So it didn't. The warmth didn't. You know what happened is it was so cold for so long, it turned into ice cube out there. So it is melting, but it's melting very slowly. So, and apparently my shoes and my inks aren't working. So I have to, I got to get to the podiatrist and all that. I should have had these people online prior to this. Again, the idea of blocking me from uh, my my life. That's the kind of stuff that it does. So I'm actually testing the audio here, and I want to see the volume and what it sounds like. Just going through a Wi-Fi at this point. I'm not sure if they're on there real time listening, but it's coming up that they are. Again, there's a lot of metaphysics involved, but they could be projecting metaphysics real time. Yeah, I could actually change my inserts or my shoes and come up with, some extent, increased health very easily. So the Gatorade's working. I just received that from CVS. CVS gets a big thumbs up. Great, great, great from me. They really came through on supplies and medications and things. Not sure if they could have got Paxlovid. I think that's something I need to ask. And again, I think it's a question everybody needs to ask their pharmacy. Can they expeditiously deliver Paxlovid? Because again, you're not supposed to be out picking it up. So even if it wasn't snowing, obviously my and again, snow would hinder that. But obviously, Walgreens was not capable of even supplying it at the pharmacy that I went to. Then delivering it was another. debacle. So even with CVS, I was having trouble as far as initially. So again, it felt like it was being hacked. And then when I went to my iPad, everything clicked. But I can't keep these devices. I'm sad that I have to part ways with them. I'm sad that I'm not a person who wants to buy something and return it. Every time I have to do it with Amazon, I'm like, ah, ah, ah. Because I just, I believe in free enterprise, and I believe in, supporting the business community and all that. And it just happens a lot, at times. There's nothing you can do when they curse you like that. Right. Had a lot of pain. I still do. But I think, I think I'm heading in the right direction. I have to figure out what I'm going to do. I'm getting older. I don't have anybody with me. I know I was trying to get to my brothers, and then I just couldn't get there. One of those, I can't get there from here. And then they bind your mind up and blind your mind with all their bullshit. I mean, they're sick people, man. They need to be destroyed. They really do. And again, the visions of the future are true. I don't know if it's 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, but it's at that point. People do not want to be oppressed, no matter how that oppression comes out. Whether it's being heralded as a law enforcement operation or a spy operation or a neighborhood watch or whatever it is. People just do not want the bullshit anymore. Again, I speak about executive protection, and I explain how that works. If you want to make yourself risky, then make yourselves risky. Right? There's only so much that's going to be able to be done. And then there's also the friction. Well, I received what I received from Trump and his people are maybe not as far as tariffs, but we're going to, they're going to take a tough line for negotiation's sake. And there's a couple other things that they're trying to trigger with that. Right. So again, whatever they're saying isn't necessarily what they're going to do. It's what they're saying to prepare the playing field. Right. Now, as far as Elon and that thing, that budget cut, we're gonna be pleased with what he does. It's kind of a weird statement. Right. I mean, the government's shit right now. I mean, it's obvious that Elon could walk in there and not offend anybody and erase probably. I don't even have the figure, but maybe $1 trillion or something. Just because it's just run shoddy, it's run shitty. Right. It's embezzlement is built into the federal government. It really is. There's always going to be funds to embezzle. That's how they do it. They've such an overage of funds that it's hard to detect the embezzlement. Right. Or it's easy to hide. Again, people can detect things all day, but you can't investigate or prosecute something that they won't let you investigate or prosecute. No, it's not me. It's a vision. I knew something was going to happen in 2024, and it happened. So again, enough of their bullshit saying it's me, not the vision. Right. Again, I'm gonna get off here real quick, and then I'll be back on with something for the Cal Fire. Well, praise God and all to do. Stay peaceful, and I mean that. Stay peaceful.